It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go! Wednesday show, January 24, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Mass. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox Local app. If you're watching on YouTube, we say hello, part of the over 61,000 subscribers on this platform. Hit the like button. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, Ryan Ermanni. How are you feeling, my friend? Tom Mazaway, good to see you as well. Before I kick it over to you there, Mazzy, got to say that, you know what, sometimes you got to call Ryan and Maz, got to call friends. Got to check on friends, got to check on people. I think with relationships, I think with Michigan, I think with the Lions, and I think just being dialed into that, I've gotten away from not calling my friends. I had a very good call today with my boy Nader. Shout out to Nader. He moved to D.C.
Nader!
So, shout out to Nader. I talked to Nader as I was in the gym. I talked to Jeff this morning.
Max.
100%. You know, I talked to Max as well. So it is very important that you check in with your friends, your family, and brothers from time to time, and your sisters, because, hey, man, they're friends and family for a reason.
That is the message of the day
100%.
from the great Braylon Edwards. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, boys. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you
Good
too,
to
brother.
see you. Bray, I like you in the flannel.
I appreciate that.
Did you
Flannel.
borrow that from Flannel Sam?
You know what? I might have borrowed it out of his collection. He has an extensive collection. Shout out to Flannel Sam. I just found out I like flannel maybe like 2 years ago. Like
Looks good
I
on
saw
you.
Sam Flannel was wearing a lot of it. I was like, all right, I tried it out and I tried it and I liked it. So Sam Flannel, appreciate you.
Sam Flannel, I could just see him wearing that shirt right now. It would look like, you remember the Incredible Hulk when
100%.
Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby, and then Lou Ferrigno.
David Banner.
My goodness, that
You
dates
wanna-
myself.
Doc Bruce Banner.
You
For
don't
the
want to
kids
see me
out there.
when I get angry, which is actually true. It's my nickname.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, big show for you today coming up. Top of hour number 2, Dan Miller is going to join us, the voice of the Lions. Boy, he has been on fire lately. I mean, the calls have been tremendous, and you see on Detroit Lions YouTube page some of the calls that he makes. They've got the camera in there, and we'll talk to him coming up. Big day for Fox 2 of Lions football. We'll talk about that with Dan coming up top of hour number 2. Also, Mike Nolan, the head coach of the Michigan Panthers.
I got a great question for him.
I bet you. Why did
he
you
pass
pick
on me? Why did he pass on me? Why did he take Alex Smith over me?
He was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers when they had the number 1 overall pick of the draft. Braylon came out that year and was the third pick. Pause. It was the third pick by the
true.
Cleveland, I almost said Cavaliers, but the Cleveland
Mistakes.
Browns. But Mike Nolan coached with Dan Campbell in New Orleans and Miami. We'll talk to him about the success of the Detroit Lions and look ahead to spring football. 3 more games in the NFL season. 3.
Wow.
2 this week, and then the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks, and then it's on to spring football.
Can I say something to you, Ryan Ermanni? You know what's so funny is this time last year, we were counting down the days kind of to like the end of the season. You know, we were hoping we got in, but if we got in outside of you, I will give you credit. You thought they had a chance to maybe do something last year because you never know. Outside of you, we were always waiting till it was the last Lions game. So it'd be our last Lions coverage. And then we have that dreadful offseason of talking about who the Lions are going to draft. It's so crazy this year that I haven't even thought about the season being over. Like, that's a testament to how good this team is. Now, we can be honest and say, yes, you know, the Stafford game, there was a little bit of this, or even this game, it's like the 49ers going on the road. But I'm not even approaching this as the last week. I'm not approaching this as our last weekend. Like, last week, I didn't even think about the possibility of not being able to talk about the Lions still playing on this coming week. So that's a testament to how good they are, and I'm excited. You know, I haven't thought about not doing the show, talking about the Lions in the current playoffs. So that's a testament to what these guys are doing.
Hey, let me take you back in time, guys. Today, in 1982, we're talking 42 years ago today, we take you out to Pontiac on a snowstorm, a blizzard.
The Cherry Bowl.
No, the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 16.
Cincinnati
my
and
goodness.
Cincinnati
Super Bowl
and San
16.
Fran.
Listen to this, guys. Super Bowl 16, the Niners and the Bengals at the beautiful, brand-new Pontiac Silverdome. Still today, the highest-rated Super Bowl in history.
That's
just
incredible.
under 50% 4% on the Nielsen ratings.
Whoa.
The 4th highest television show of all time. And the first game, Pat Summerall and John Madden, first Super Bowl they did together. And, of course, the Niners go down there and hang on for dear life. Pete Johnson can't get in 3 times from the goal line. What a great game that was. And the Niners brought home their first championship in a long time.
First to 4.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know what's crazy about the situation? You see the Silver Dome in the building. Usually when you're talking about moments involving Detroit or the Silver Dome or Ford Field to some extent, it's always 2 other teams playing. It's always a playoff moment that doesn't involve the Lions. It's always a moment that doesn't involve the Lions and whatever. Now, when you talk about playoff moments, the Lions have a chance. They've made some already, and they have a chance to make more. It's just a crazy turn of events from that moment to where the Lions are now.
And the
Crazy.
following year, in '83, is the missed field goal by Eddie Murray against the San Francisco 49ers. Remember, it went wide right. Monty Clark was praying on the sidelines. The last time the 49ers and the Lions got together was that day at Candlestick Park. Little revenge.
1983 was a pretty good year. I'm just saying.
Hey, speaking of revenge, I
that your
think
year?
I feel like
Michigan Panthers.
That's right. I feel like Jared Goff is getting some revenge, and he's getting some revenge on the field. Jared Goff's 5 playoff wins. He's got 2 this year. That is the most among active quarterbacks in the NFC. We talk about quarterbacks all the time. Usually 9 times out of 10, perhaps. I don't have that stat, in front of me. But the team with the better quarterback is going to win the football game. And all this guy does, Jared Goff, is win. And again, 5 playoff wins, the most amongst active quarterbacks.
We got that stat there, Pete.
It is right there.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins, all these guys, Matthew Stafford, all these guys that you think, but it's this guy, Goff.
And Dak Prescott's been behind the machine for the better part of 8 years now, so he should have more. Look, it's hard to win in this league, Ryan. It's hard to win in the playoffs. Once you get to January, all bets are off. Things change. Teams get knocked out. It is what it is. So the fact that he has 5 wins, but not only 5 wins, Ryan, he has them with 2 different franchises.
Right.
At some point, you got to look at the stats. You got to look at the person. You got to say, maybe I got to give this guy a little bit more credit than I'm giving him. Look, I played with Mark Sanchez. He has 4 playoff wins back-to-back. When we were there, it's like, Mark Sanchez isn't that guy. At the end of the day, when you watch the film, there were some plays made in there that he made plays. He allowed us to get to the dance, get to the step before the dance. So you got to give credit to quarterbacks when they get wins, especially 2 different franchises, kind of do 2 different eras.
You mentioned it.
It ain't always Sean McVay, right?
Oh,
It might be him.
There you go.
There you go. But
There
you mentioned 2 different franchises. So Goff is one of 5 quarterbacks to take 2 different teams to the championship game.
Wow.
I know you can name 2 others.
Oh, what? Brady and Manning.
Brady and Manning.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is another one. Kurt Warner,
Yes.
Arizona Cardinals and the
Yes.
Rams.
Oh, okay.
And then Jared Goff.
Wow.
Look at that.
Kurt Warner was the one.
That's company.
4 Hall of Famers.
Yes.
There's 4 Hall of Famers on that list.
So-
and maybe a 5th one.
Yeah.
Look, that list is letting you know when you do something of that level, 2 teams, NFC Championship, and all those guys actually took 2 teams to the Super Bowl, with the exception of Favre. Excuse me, he's the only one that didn't. But it lets you know the level of elite quarterback that you have to be at. And Jared Goff, man, he might really just be starting his prime as a quarterback.
What about 14 wins in a season? You ready for this one?
about it?
Look at this list.
Phillip
Jared
Rivers.
Goff has won 14 games this season with the Lions. He has won 14 games with the Rams. Do you know who is on that list?
2 different teams, 14 games.
2 different games, 14. I'm talking as long as I possibly can.
Peyton
I'm talking as long as I possibly can.
I got the answer to
Give
that.
me the list.
0. Is it Peyton or is it 0?
Do you see it there, Tom? Do you have that answer? I don't. You just got to start printing out.
I do.
Please just print
I
it out
apologize.
for me. But we'll get that answer for you, Tom. I'm so sorry. I was waiting for it to come up. We'll get it for you in a minute.
Been there for 3 days. I don't know what else I can possibly do.
Finally following the rundown.
What else could I possibly
It was
do?
3 days.
We're talking about Goff. He knows he's going to go 1, 2, 3. I don't know what else you can do. What else can you lead him?
Thank you.
What are you doing, Pete? What are you doing?
You made me spit this water out.
Oh, God.
Where's Adam Morency?
Oh, God. Oh, God. You got it. Oh,
God's
good. Thank
sake.
God. Braylon just left the studio. He quit. He just quit. he can't take it anymore.
Oh.
Braylon has left the studio. Tom Mazaway.
I'm sorry, bro. Let's see if we can guess the 14-1 quarterback.
Well,
Let's see.
This is why I need hard copy, man.
I know, hard copy.
I can't.
I try to save paper. I try to save the trees.
I need a hard copy.
I know.
Can you open up your computer and so we can tell the people who the list?
Yeah,
you
I'll
might as well
do that.
pay it off.
I'll do. I want to pay it off.
We might as well pay
give me
it
a
off.
second to pay it off.
What do
It'll
you
take
mean,
me
give him
1
a second?
second.
People have been waiting for
Here you
5
go.
minutes already.
Here we go.
People have been waiting for 5 minutes.
Here we go.
Okay, Maz, thank you.
I got it. You ready?
Hey, there we go.
Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Jared Goff. That's it.
Took forever.
Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Jared Goff.
14 games in a season. 2 different teams. Boys, men, we have the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and I'm telling you, he is going to be, again, the best quarterback on the field this week in San Francisco. That is why I believe the Detroit Lions not only have a chance to win this game, but Braylon, I like you. I expect the Lions to win this game. There isn't a thought in my head that thinks that the Lions are going to go down there and just lose because they're playing on the road against the 49ers. I expect them to win the game.
I love you like a brother. I don't expect them to win, however, but I definitely see a path where they can win whether Deebo Samuel plays or not. I talked about it yesterday in terms of Ben Johnson knowing the offense and you see what he's done against the last 2 defensive coordinators. You see what he's done all season in terms of getting his team, his skilled players in the best position and be prepared to have success. And he's done that all year long. Look, I think the Detroit Lions have a damn good chance. Obviously, there's some matchup issues on offense versus their defense that you're worried about. But look, this team has shown you time and time again that they can rise to the challenge. They've shown you time and time again that, you know what, in the end, Dan Campbell's starting to make the right decisions. You look at Jared Goff. Look at Jared Goff's performance in the playoffs so far. Now, they have been home games. But once again, it will be warm in San Francisco. It will not be in Baltimore. So you look at Jared Goff, 287, 2 touchdowns, no picks. 277, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And you look at Jahmyr Gibbs getting better and better in the playoffs. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been lights out in this playoff run. So when you go skill for skill, position for position, Detroit Lions match up much better than a lot of people believe.
And as Dan Campbell mentioned earlier today at his media availability, they are built for this.
And you have to be able to handle the ebbs and flows of a game in a season and playoffs. And that's what has been built for 3 years now. And so that's what gives me faith. Look, there's going to be things that are going to happen in this game that it's going to look like it's out of control. And it's not going to go well for us. And as long as we just play the next play, it'll turn. And that's what we've done all year. And that's the most important thing to keep in mind. But you got to be made a certain way, and the team has to be made a certain way to be able to handle that. Otherwise, you just crumble. So that's what gives me faith. We have a team that's built that way.
A lot of people are going to hear one thing that he said in that soundbite. A lot of people are going to pay attention to the fact that he said things are going to look out of control. And they're going to pull that part and they're going to say, why should things look out of control? I wish he didn't say that. He's telling you who the identity of this team is. At times you see things that you don't like with the Lions. At times you're like, here we go again. But then what happens in the end of the third? What happens in the midway through the fourth? They win games no matter however. They can out-physical you. They can make the play at the end of the game that they need to. They can seal the game if they need to. Basically what he's saying about we're built for this is when things look awry, don't worry, because we don't. We talked about this for 3 years. We talked about the identity. And it goes back to that word that we've been using a lot, Ryan, trust. Everybody in Honolulu Blue and Silver trust each other, from the head coach to the assistant coaches to all the players. So when things look awry to us, it might just be where the Detroit Lions like to live.
Did you notice the backdrop?
It is new. The Intuit TurboTax NFC Championship
Every
game.
team has that exact backdrop now. The final 4 teams are now under control of the National Football League. You don't see the Lion back there anymore. You just see the Lombardi Trophy. That's awesome.
That's what this team has gotten to.
Are you upset like you were upset at the National Championship?
No, not at all. The black,
Why is it black?
The black end zones? No,
Yeah.
I got used to them because Michigan got in there so much.
There you go. Oh, ooh, nice,
Guys,
nice
you'll hear
call,
from Dan
man.
Campbell coming up. Also, I have some numbers regarding Deebo Samuel. Stunning numbers. And maybe the MVP of the league, Deebo Samuel, certainly the MVP
I know these numbers.
of the San Francisco 49ers. We'll get to that next, but first, a message from us here at WSN. We invite everybody to go to woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab, hoodies, tees, everything in between. Men, women, babies, coffee mugs, anything you want. Woodward Sports, affordable, comfortable, and every other able that you could possibly think of. woodwardsports.com, click shop.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 and make your home buying dreams come true.
You know, this will be an outstanding test for us, but it's one we're ready for. So we're built to handle this, and this is going to be an outstanding game on the road. Our guys are going to be ready to roll. We're disruptive. We're aggressive, and we hit. And that to me has got to be what we're about. You know, those are the principles. Look, we may get hit on a couple of things, and I know for me, I'm willing to give up something to get something.
Is it just me or is Dan Campbell jacked up?
He is ready to go.
Can you see him rubbing his hands together? Like, he doesn't know what to do with himself. That's what happens when you're a former player and you're coaching. He wants to be on that field. I'm excited. One of the things I also heard is you hear him say, this will be an outstanding test. Ryan, when you talk like that, when you say you expect them to win, they expect to win too. Because when you have that type of rhetoric where you're saying, this will be an outstanding test, a test is only something that you know you already are going to pass. So I think that they know in their minds that they're going to win this game.
And there's no doubt this will be different for them.
I expect.
You know, it is different to play at home than it is on the road. And Braylon, you played 2 of these conference championship games. You played them both on the road. Yeah. There is... You know, there's sort of a villain-like mentality that you take going onto the road.
6 road playoff games.
6 road playoff games, but especially when there's so much on the line in a conference championship, that's a lot.
It is a lot, man. You know, you go into the games and you can say, hey, it doesn't matter. It's just another game. We can operate in that space. You're lying. You're lying to yourself if you say it's just another game. The key is, what Dan Campbell said, the key is things are going to happen. Like, you've seen games, like, when you get to this level, everybody's trying to make the most of it. Everybody's trying to do a little bit more and maybe, you know, stepping outside of position or maybe not carrying the ball like they would or calling plays like they would or throwing the ball in certain spots like they would. But when those mistakes happen, man, the team has been conditioned. The team that has been conditioned to get to the next play, to have a short-term memory, that's the team that prevails in the end. The team that gets caught up in, oh, shoot, I threw an interception. Now I throw another interception. Now because he threw the interception, now I'm trying to make a play. Now I drop a pass and it gets tipped. Now it's an interception. The team that can have that short-term memory and say that was the last play, they'll be the team that prevails.
What have they done the last 3 wins? Against the Vikings, against the Rams, against the Bucks.
Clean.
Made the play.
Besides that.
Made the plays at the end.
They scored first.
Yes.
Get the lead. I don't care if it's 3-0. get the lead. Packers
great
had the
point,
lead
Tom.
on the Niners all week last week. They lost it with a minute to go in the game. They had that game in their grasp.
And you can say Matt LaFleur blew it to a certain extent.
He might have.
Yeah.
He might have.
It's a great point
great
because
point,
one of
man.
the
Get the
things
lead.
one of the things they've been doing is if they win the toss, they have been
Yep.
taking the football. Now last week it was a quick 3 and out, but
Yeah.
they ultimately stopped Tampa on their opening drive
And
came
intercepted.
down absolutely and came down, kicked a field goal, and took a 3-0 lead. You play much differently with the lead than when you're playing from behind. The Lions have not trailed at all this
No.
entire postseason.
Collinsworth almost buried him after the first 3 and out. He's like, oh, that doesn't bode well. Team wanted the ball. Now Tampa Bay gets the ball. They're driving. They're running the ball. And then came the interception, and he flipped back to the Lions side. Because I watched it again last night.
I'm sure you did.
Okay?
So that's the same.
I like hearing all the Chris Collinsworth bull crap.
He's
that's
annoying.
thrown
I
out
told you I
there.
don't like him. Is that your third time watching the game now?
Yeah.
Including the very first time?
Correct.
It's only Wednesday. One more. You got one more time in you?
I got the Packers and Niners tonight.
Okay.
Guys, let me go back to Dan Campbell's press conference earlier today. Here's one of the things about this week, because you've got every sports show in the country, every sports show in the world now that is talking about football is talking about the Detroit Lions. There's not 12 games to talk about anymore. There's 2 games. Everybody's talking about these 2 games. Everybody is talking about your team. Everybody's telling you how great you are. And yes, you're a 7-point underdog, but then you've got people like Colin or people like me or whoever say, 7 points, look
a lot.
out. That's a lot. They're going to win this game. The Lions are good. They're elite in so many different areas. Here's what Dan Campbell has to say about all of the noise out there.
I mean, here we are. This is the biggest issue right now. I mean, most time I come in here and there's, 20 of you. And now there's a whole packed room, people I don't even recognize. And that's what our players are dealing with. It's all the extra attention outside of the norm. That's the issue. It's not the opponent. It has its own issues that we'll deal with. But it's all the outside attention and where they're getting pulled from every area. You know, you got friends, you got family reaching out. Well, unbelievable. You guys are here again. What are you going to blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you're such a phenomenal player. You know, you're a phenomenal coach. You're a phenomenal GM. And pretty soon, if you forget that it's us, and it's about the team. You know, I think that's always the challenge this time of year when you get in these type of games and settings.
Want to give Colton Pouncey from The Athletic credit for that video that we just played. But Braylon, I mean, there's no doubt about it. All the extra demands on the players, on the coaches, a little bit different.
It is a little bit different, you know, especially when people are in favor of another team or people think another team is a juggernaut or a dominant, talking about the San Francisco 49ers. I remember in the second time we got to the AFC Championship, to get there, we had to play the Patriots. The New England Patriots were the number 1 seed in the league that year, and the last time we had played them, Ryan, they beat us 49-3. That's why I didn't freak out about that, just like you. I didn't freak out about that Ravens for Lions game. They beat the hell out of us. They beat us 49-3. Nobody gave us a chance. But because of that, we were by ourselves. It was us against the rest of the AFC East. It was us against the AFC. It was us against the naysayers. It brought us together. The Lions have been that now this whole season. Last season, the last 10 games of the year. 3 years ago when this regime started, it's been grit. It's been Lions versus everybody, if you will, Detroit versus everybody from the moniker. Like, they're used to it. Like, they're not worried about the extra attention or people now jumping on the bandwagon or people asking them questions about, you know, what is it going to be like against San Fran, or what if Debo plays? This team doesn't care if Debo plays or not. It doesn't. This is what you get when a team is together. They're together, so even though it is outside noise, it's extra, there's more media personnel, it's still not going to distract. In my estimation, it's not going to distract the Detroit Lions and their players and their coaches from doing what they've been doing all season, is blocking out the noise. They're 12-5 last time I checked.
I love what Dan said. And
13-4.
he's kind of kept it
Asterisk.
like, hey, I know 20 of you guys. I don't know who these other people are. And the players, everyone's going to come up to you now and blow smoke up you. You know what? Oh, you're the best. I always believed in you. Oh, you're a great coach. Oh, what a great GM you are.
I
Yeah,
always
now
knew you were going to make it.
Yeah, now, like he said, hey, if you weren't on the train before, you can get in the back in the caboose and be the guys that are just hanging on right now and jumping on board. The real people, the real fans, we know who we are, and they know who we are.
Braylon, you mentioned Deebo Samuel a minute ago, and everybody has seen the stats since 2019. The San Francisco 49ers are 53-23 with him. They are 8-9 without him. 53-23 with, 8-9 without. In 2023 alone, Deebo Samuel has started and finished 13 games this year. Started and finished 13 games.
Out of a possible 19.
17.
17, okay.
You know what their record is?
Oh, you did the regular season.
I did the regular season
Okay, I got
only.
you. Okay.
You know what the record is?
In those 13
the 13
games?
12
11-2?
12-1.
Wow.
They have scored 32 points a game in those 13 games. He left the game when they played Cleveland early. Very early in that one, he left.
And they got beat.
19-17.
Yep.
He did play in the season finale a couple of plays. I'm not counting that
Don't count
game.
it.
Nobody else played.
That's a throwaway game.
But in the 3 games, essentially, and I am including the Cleveland game as a without game.
Okay.
Because he left
You
so
should,
early
yeah.
in that game. The San Francisco 49ers in 2023 are 0-3 without him, and they score 17 points a game.
Wow.
They literally scored 17 points
Almost
3
half.
games in a row.
Almost half.
Almost half. 32 points with, 17 points without. There isn't a non-quarterback skill player in this league that means more to their particular team than Deebo Samuel means to the San Francisco 49ers. So while the players on the Lions team may not care if he plays or not, we collectively here in Detroit are asking Deebo Samuel. Men lie, women lie, sports people lie. Numbers do not. Numbers don't lie. 0-3, 17 points a game this year without Deebo Samuel. 12-1 in 13 games where he started and finished the game this year in the regular season.
He ain't finishing this game, bro.
32 points per game.
He was not.
That's kind of what I alluded to yesterday, and you corrected me. I said 14. I know it was one more point. It's 15. But just imagine this, okay? You know how the Lions are with CD Deuce out there on the field. You know how that defense is. You know how that team is. Deebo is the same energy for the San Francisco 49ers that CD Deuce is. Imagine if Amon-Ra St. Brown had CD Deuce's energy, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown did not play. Like, just let that sink in.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're getting in the situation. Not only is he the playmaker on offense, he's the guy that gets the defense going. He's the guy that gets the offense going. He's the guy that can get Trent Williams to calm down when he goes a little spastic. He's the guy that can he's the guy that can say something to Brock Purdy in the huddle. He's the guy on the sideline. He's the straw that stirs the drink.
You bet.
Great call, man. He's the straw that stirs the drink. I remember like yesterday. Obviously, you remember Friday. Everybody knows the movie Friday. Chris Tucker, you got knocked the you-know-what out. Remember Debo's bike?
That's my bike.
That's my bike, punk. Remember when they went into Dallas 2 years ago? Remember what Debo was doing? He rode a bike to the game. He had the whole plaid shirt on. He had the whole radio on his. Remember that, JB? He had the radio on like this. Everybody followed behind him. That's the type of energy he brings. But it's one thing when someone's playing and they're providing that spark and that energy. It's another thing when they're not out there. Or it's another thing when you know they're not going to be able to play at their level. Because he's elite when he plays. So if he can't play at that level or if he doesn't play, that's a huge blow, Ryan Ermanni, to the San Francisco 49ers. Not just offense, to the whole team.
No doubt about it, guys. So just the importance of Deebo is incredible to the San Francisco 49ers. And as Ryan Lentz points out, doesn't think they had Trent Williams in that game either. So
he's been out a few games too.
Absolutely, no doubt. Big stuff. Guys, coming up next, you'll hear from Frank Ragnow. We'll hear 2 different cuts from Frank Ragnow. One about the run game, one about Jahmyr Gibbs, and then one about the fans of Detroit who really showed out with their dollars for his charity. Big stuff there. So you'll hear from Big Frank next. We'll talk to Dan Miller, top of the hour, and we'll talk a little Chiefs-Ravens too. Big football day on a Wednesday here. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Yep. Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this just for $10 a month with no commitment. Now remember, no matter where you are, there was always a Planet Fitness nearby, with more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Find your local Planet Fitness today, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, join us this Sunday right after our watch party. It's the Lions and the 49ers post-game show. Myself, Stick, Anson, Pete will be there. JB hopefully will drop in. D-Mac is always here. Kool-Aid, you got to be on with us, guys. The chat is always on fire. We take phone calls all show long, and hopefully we'll be celebrating a Lions Super Bowl berth this Sunday on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. It's the Lions post-game show.
Frank, how dynamic has it been to play with Jahmyr?
He's special. That cut on that touchdown was one of the best cuts I've ever seen. He's just a special running back, and to think he's only a rookie, it's pretty cool. He's got that combination of that dynamic speed and those cuts, but he's also strong and powerful. He's a special player for sure, and he had some very impressive blitz pickups as well, which I like a lot.
Go out there and you watch it and you understand it. We've talked about all season long, whether it's Jamison Williams blocking downfield for Amon-Ra St. Brown, whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown springing Dave Montgomery, whether it's Jahmyr Gibbs picking up the blitz. He was excited, and this is I've talked about coaches and linemen. They get excited about blocking. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, he liked the touchdown, he liked the move, it was shifty, you do some amazing stuff. But when you block, the linemen appreciate it, and then they block harder for you. You see when he talked about him blocking and picking up the blitz, you see he lit up a little bit, he got excited. This team plays for each other, and it's real. But that cut said a lot about Jahmyr Gibbs, and goes to what Frank Ragnow said. He said he's young, he's a rookie, but he's not playing like a rookie. He's a guy that's shifty, he has moves, he has speed, he can kind of do it all. He's a young guy in a situation like that where you're staring down Antoine Winfield, who's arguably the best safety in the league, is probably going to get a couple nods for Defensive Player of the Year. When you're staring at a guy like that, he could have made a bunch of moves and did too much because he's young and he's thinking too much in the moment. He set him up, he went vertical, and once he went vertical, he froze Antoine Winfield. So when he made the move, Antoine Winfield, 2 feet in the ground, he was dead, dead on arrival. So that is an elite move at an elite time.
And Maz, you know this about big guys. You love it when them running backs.
Yeah.
You love it when them running backs follow your lead, right? They make you look good on the block.
Oh, yeah, you see Penei Sewell like sweeping right, and he's outrunning Penei, man. He's my favorite Lion by far. I'm talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. I love this kid. He's got it all, guys, and he's just starting. Remember how they slowly brought him into this? They know what they're doing, man. Can you imagine the free agents that are going to line up that want to come here? And we're going to be interviewing them. When I say we, I mean Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and that executive staff. You got to be one of them to get in this team now. This team is a destination now.
First time ever the Detroit Lions will be turning away quality superstar type talent.
Right. This is going to be a situation where you probably, A, don't have to overpay anybody.
Bingo.
B, if all things are equal, the free agent most likely will now choose you instead of choosing a quote-unquote contender.
Yeah.
Those things are all in play. And
because you are the contender.
absolutely. You know, and CJ GJ really became a guy where, hey, you're on a prove-it deal. You're on a prove-it one-year deal. Come on in.
He picked the right team, man.
He absolutely did. There's no doubt about it, guys. I want to get to this too. Frank Ragnow, a love affair with the city of Detroit. Frank Ragnow talked about what the fans did in giving money to his charity. Here that is.
I talked to someone with the foundation yesterday, and it was over 20 grand. So hats off to Lions fans. That's like completely unnecessary, but so special, and it just speaks to this. How great this community is and how supportive these fans are. Again, it's been a fun ride.
So basically, the fans donated $20,000 to his charities, Rags to Riches, after just seeing how tough that guy is. The injury, and then coming back in a couple of plays later, finishing out the game. And
great.
You know, we joke that when we see an injury report today, it's going to say Frank Ragnow. Everything.
Rest.
You know, but I mean, this guy's as Detroit as they come.
Yeah, one thing about teams, man, and cities where you come from, these teams, like when a city sees that you put it all online for them, like, look, make no mistaking about it. The Lions are Detroit's team. It's the city of Detroit. It's the metropolitan area. It's the whole state. It's our team, correct? When you see a guy sell out for your team, the team that represents your city, when you go out of town and you got to talk to your boys or this, that, and the third, or you're having back and forth or fantasy leagues or whatever, when you see guys selling out, giving all that they have, man, you're going to line up and you're going to want to do anything that you can for that person because they gave it all for you and your team as well.
Here's Jared Goff at the podium today. Jared Goff, nothing better than right now.
You know, there's 4 teams left, and you know, this is the times you dream of as a kid, and you grow up, you know, hoping to be in these final games, and we're one win away from, you know, our ultimate goal of getting to the Super Bowl and winning that game as well. But yeah, we're where our feet are today, and being very present, and know this will be a challenge for us this week, and doing our best.
You're watching Jared Goff, and I just think you're seeing 2 different quarterbacks, from the one that went to the Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams, then they were the Los Angeles Rams then, to the guy that's going to the Super Bowl now with the Detroit Lions. When you get there that first time, man, you think you go a million times. Like, you go year 3, I think it was year 3 when you went the first time around. You think it's going to last forever. You got Todd Gurley, you got a young Aaron Donald. We're going to be doing this forever. And then look at life happen after that. He's on a steady decline. Eventually he gets run out of LA and comes here and then has to get back up. But this time around, you see him, he's excited. He understands the moment. I think him getting that win against Matt Stafford, him getting that back-to-back win against Baker Mayfield, and now looking at it knowing you can't take this for granted because you don't know when the next time you'll be in the NFC Championship. You don't know the next time you'll have an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. So I think this time around, man, Jared Goff, you won't see what you saw out of him in the Super Bowl that year.
You know what I love about this guy, Goff? He wears the same hat. You notice? Like,
well, he had that brown hat on.
I know, but this is the hat he puts on during the game. If he's walking on the field, the guy gives him the hat right away. It's that same old hat of his. Same one he wore today on the press conference. It's just, he's not a showboat guy. He's just a good dude. He's just a humble, good dude, and that's what makes this city. He's a Detroiter. He took this team from 0 wins to 3 wins to 9 wins to now 14 wins. He has put this team on his back, and they are here. I know it's a team, but he's the leader of that team. My hat's off to Jared Goff.
What's the quarterback's name? I'm having a brain fart from Remember the Titans.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
There
is parts of Jared Goff you look at, and you're like, this is Sunshine.
Yeah.
This is a California kid who grew up in California, who played at Cal, who ultimately was the #1 pick by the L.A. Rams eventually when they moved to L.A., played it in California, and then comes to Detroit.
This ain't L.A.
This is not California.
Yeah.
But there is a toughness about this guy. There is a resilience about this guy that resembles all of us. And, you know, for as much as we have a stereotype here about Detroit and Detroiters, I think Californians have a little bit of a stereotype as well. Maybe being a little soft.
Yeah.
Maybe being a little blasé,
Yeah,
like having a little
laid back.
bit laid back attitude. This guy wants to put his foot on your throat. You know, this guy has broken.
But he don't say it.
Exactly.
He just does it.
That's what he doesn't telegraph
No.
it for you.
No. He puts the same old hat on. One that don't look good.
Am I kind of along the? Do you understand what
I
I'm
get
trying
it.
to say?
100%. Hey, listen, LA isn't all sunshines and beaches. Like 100%. There are a lot of tough areas. There are a lot of tough people. And there are two types of toughness. There's physical toughness, what you can see, and that's the one that people always talk about. That's the one that people see like, oh, he's physical because he went out there and beat somebody up, or he had a big hit, or he took a big hit. Jared Goff's mentally tough. And I think that's what we found out over the years. We talked about it, the resiliency that he has. To be resilient, you have to be mentally tough, and that's what Jared Goff is, in my estimation.
There's no doubt. I love him. Jared Goff, by the way.
Quiet assassin.
Just a couple of postseason notes from him that the Lions put out after their last game. Is the third quarterback in franchise history to win multiple playoff games. He joins Tobin Rote in 1957 and Bobby Lane in 1952 and 1953. He's reached 7 passing touchdowns in his postseason career, has the second most passing yards, and tied for the third most passing touchdowns than any Lions player in a single postseason. Obviously, every step of the way, it feels like all of these Lions players are shattering Lions playoff records.
You see who's still following the Lions, by the way? It's Eric Kramer. He was here 2 weeks ago. We had him in studio. He was here last week following the Lions, and now he goes home to California, and he could follow the Lions again there. The last Lion quarterback to win a playoff game until Jared Goff.
This is absolutely true. You know, when talking about that mental toughness and talking about Jared Goff kind of becoming a different player, you look at it in that game. Now, we glossed over it, but it happened. Jared Goff's almost wide open interception was dropped.
Yes.
A wide open interception.
In the end zone.
In the end zone.
We got 3 out of that.
We got 3 out of that, but a wide open interception was dropped. He was all right, cool. It goes like the Dan Campbell talked about. It may look awry, but then they always are resilient. Did you see another play like that?
No.
Did he throw another interception after that? Or did he throw an interception? Did he fumble the ball? Did he look out of sorts? Did he start missing throws? No, he said, you know what, cool. Caught a break. That play's over. Let's go to the next. That's what Dan Campbell was talking about.
Remember when he was running, too? I think he ran almost for a first down.
He
and
did.
When he was going down, 2 hands on the ball. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see that. He ain't giving that ball up. He's not.
Because he knows what Ryan always says. No one can beat the Lions if they don't beat themselves.
Seriously, I firmly believe that. And we talk about the fact that the Lions haven't trailed yet this postseason. They haven't turned the ball over yet this postseason either.
Oh.
Knock on wood, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But,
words count.
you know, you mentioned Jared Goff nearly getting picked in the end zone. And if he does get picked in the end zone,
So
and they
what?
don't, but you never know how that game turns
Correct.
out.
All right.
Every championship team somewhere along the line and multiple steps along the line have gotten some sort of luck, whether that's injury luck, the ball bouncing kind of luck, somebody out, whatever. And, you know, that could have been the Lions' luck.
Super Bowl 25.
Look at
Let me just go back to that. It's Giants. It's the Denver Broncos. Super Bowl 25. Bills and Giants. Jeff Hostetler, backup quarterback, played the last 4 games for the Giants because Phil Simms got hurt. As he was getting sacked by Bruce Smith in the end zone, the ball was ready to be fumbled for a touchdown. He holds on to it for dear life, only gives up a safety. Things like that, and the Giants wound up winning by a point, 20-19. Just saying, that's just one that sticks out in my head. I always remember it. It's a quarterback that did not turn that ball over and just took the hit and gave up the 2 points.
My dad used to always say this: luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Like, that's what luck is. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. It's not something that comes out the blue and it's like, oh, how did this happen? I mean, unless you're talking about Franco Harris and the immaculate reception. And even that, he ran down the field and was ready to catch it. If Rashad White does film, he knows he's picking up that block on Brian Branch. He picks up that block. Chris Goddard and Mike Evans were both wide open. Baker Mayfield easily has a chance for a 20-yard completion, maybe even a touchdown, but he wasn't prepared. He wasn't prepared to pick up that block, and Brian Branch got a sack on the play. Preparation meets opportunities. Luck is.
Without question. Guys, going to take a break. I'd like to play a little clip for you from Kyle Brandt from Good Morning Football. We'll do that next. More Lions talk. Also going to take a look at the Chiefs and the Ravens this week, where that number is, what you expect from Patrick Mahomes. Who has more to lose in that game?
Ooh.
Who has the most pressure on him in that game? We'll do that. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. Are you treating this Sunday like a Super Bowl Sunday? Well, you should, because the Lions play at 6:30, and just before, at dinner time perhaps, why don't you grab some steaks from Fairway Packing Company? It's where Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos get their prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You don't have to go to one of those fancy restaurants, though, to get yours. You just walk into Fairway Packing, the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue. You walk right in. Refrigerated steaks, individually packed. Grab the one you want, take it home with you, cook it yourself. Fairwaypacking.com. They do ship next day. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry-aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com/shop, baby boy.
Hi, everybody.
You want some new merch and a water?
Let me tell you about Birmingham Roast. No, seriously, let me tell you about Woodward Sports. Latest gear at woodwardsports.com. Click on the shop tab, and you can get all the latest hoodies, tees, hats, all that stuff. Woodwardsports.com. Click shop. And Birmingham Roast has the greatest ice water you could ever imagine.
Delicious.
Got the lemon in it.
I don't know. Sometimes I space out. I wake up at 4:30 every day. What can I do?
Oh, God bless
good,
you,
brother.
man.
I'm glad you're here.
I got a refill here for you, by the way.
You
I
do?
I got more water here.
Oh,
for
my
you.
God. Are you
Yep.
kidding me?
Yeah,
I love
too.
one.
Got a refill.
You know, I've been going to Planet Fitness in between jobs.
I know.
And so today I did a little something different at the Planet Fitness.
What'd you do?
I did the 30-minute workout.
And one in the middle, right?
They do a
Describe it.
There is a area. It's a blocked off. It's like in a
circuit?
Circuit. It's in a separate area.
Okay.
And it's 30 minutes. There's like a street light, green and red, and the green light is just a minute long. The red light is 30 seconds, so you rest and you wipe down your machine. And I did the 30-minute workout today, and tomorrow I will be dead. Essentially,
but you got it in.
Hurting so bad because there's some weight training in there too.
What was the workout?
It's a circuit. It's a circuit.
So give me some of the exercises.
You do bench press?
No, there's like one of these.
Okay, push it, band.
One of these.
Okay.
It's like a full body workout.
Lat pull down.
In between each weight station, there is like a cardio. So it's cardio and full body.
That's a total body workout.
There's like step things where
How many
you
people
step
were in
on
the
it.
circle here?
Just me.
Okay.
Now the gym was pretty full. Not full, but gym was
There's people in there.
People in there for
Okay.
sure. For middle of the day, you know, I work out at an odd time for a gym. I would say, you know, in there at 12:30.
You get in there like the lunch crowd's kind of like ending.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lunch crowd ending. So I get in there from 12:30 to 1, and it was great. It's a mile away. I mean,
You got the black card, right?
I got the black
That
card.
means if you had extra time, you could get the massage.
Yeah, I don't do the
Oh.
massage. I gotta get here. I gotta get here now.
Yeah.
I don't get the massage, but I could get the massage.
Now, when you're getting these massages, are they licensed massages?
It's a massage
chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a massage
I was
chair.
just worried
It's a
this wasn't
hydro massage.
Deshaun Watson funny business.
Yeah.
Oh, the hydro massage chairs there. I would join just for that.
We should get you. We should talk to Chad Johnson, and we should make the Maz chair a
hydro
massage
massage
chair, and just have you sitting in there
Come
with
on,
the
Planet
massage
Fitness.
chair.
Wow.
Or we could put a Planet Fitness massage chair right there, and that could be the Maz Planet Fitness massage
I would
chair.
love that. I
I'm
could be
just-
like George Costanza.
There you go. Guys, this is Kyle Brandt on Good Morning Football today talking about the Lions. This might have been yesterday.
It's like a really nice, sweet take about, Lions fans, if you have any way to possibly do it, make the trip to this game. You never know when you're going to get in. It might be another 30 years. That's such BS. Stop saying that and stop thinking like that. If you can't go to the game or you don't want to or it's too expensive, don't go. You'll have playoff games next year. This is not this thing about this is the one special year and next time it's going to be your grandkids. This is stupid. This team is built. You know what the point this is like for fans? It's a business trip. We're going to win this game, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. Do you know, there's a million things to talk about here. One, first of all, it'd be very cool if Jared Goff wins this game. He'll be the 5th guy ever to start a Super Bowl for 2 different teams. Super Bowl. That's a really 5 people ever, and it's Kurt, and it's Peyton, and it's Brady. It'd be a great list. But also, we're going to talk about this all week. I think there's an expectation, they're kind of showing up to give the Niners a good game, and then the Shanahan machine's going to run over them. The Deebo Samuel injury is massive, massive. Have you seen these numbers? These are going to be really, really hot this week. With Deebo Samuel in the lineup and healthy under Kyle Shanahan, the Niners are 53-23. It's an amazing record. Yeah. Without Deebo, they are 8-9.
So, incredible stuff there.
He goes on to say at the end, don't waste your money on San Francisco, Lion fans. Go to the Super Bowl. Book your trip to Vegas. And the other bunch of the panel say to him, are you picking the Lions right now? And he's like, I'm absolutely picking the Lions to win this game. And that's Kyle Brandt, Good Morning Football on NFL Network.
And that's real. Energy matters. We talked about this, the Lions fans waiting for each night. You're waiting for, okay, well, they'll win they'll win the North. We'll see about the first round. We'll see about the second round. He's basically telling you, man, just keep that energy. This is energy that they have an opportunity, more than an opportunity, to beat this 49ers team. So if you say, hey, you know what? If you're out here just saying, let's go to 49ers, let's go out to San Fran because we don't know what's going to happen, that's not the right energy you have. The energy is, look, we'll wait because we're going. Why not? Remember I told you I wasn't going to the Rose Bowl?
Yep.
I said I wasn't going to the Rose Bowl.
Because you were going to Houston.
I was going to Houston. I put that energy out in the world, much like a lot of other people did. I'm not the only one. But I didn't not go to the Rose Bowl because I didn't want to see them play Alabama or be a part of that Storage Stadium. I was like, nah, we're going to the Super Bowl. Put that energy out there. They went, I went, and we won.
No doubt. Guys, just quick pause in some Lions talk. What about this AFC Championship game? The Chiefs and the Ravens. Has this line come down? It was Ravens -3.5.
I think it's pretty steady.
It is steady at
3.5.
Yeah. It is still at 3.5. I can't put my finger on this one. I feel like this is a Lamar Jackson and Baltimore Ravens
blowout.
Kinda.
I feel blowout, yet the spread tells me I'm wrong.
Well, and also I look at the other side and I'm like, yes, the Chiefs have had some problems this year. Yes, the Chiefs have not looked like the team they have been over the last 4-5 years. But then they still have that quarterback on the other side. Patrick Mahomes is still widely considered in contention for the greatest quarterback in the history of football, along with Tom Brady.
6 years in.
And one of the things that Tom Brady did is it's like he won every year. He went to 10 AFC Championship games, or 10 Conference Championship games, and only lost 3 of them. Went to 7, 8, 9 Super Bowls.
Oh my
or
God.
10 Super Bowls.
10 Super Bowls.
10 Super Bowls. He's 7-3.
Lost 3, won 7.
God.
10 Super Bowls. Think about that. So I feel like if Mahomes is going to be on that continued path, he has to win games like this. Personally,
100%. The line hasn't come down 100% because of a couple of reasons. One, it's because Mahomes is the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Regardless of what happened this season, Mahomes is still your quarterback. You've seen what he's done. Like, you talk about who's the GOAT between he and Tom. Well, Tom's still the GOAT. But you're talking about the guy that's on the rise. His 6 years are indescribable. No one has done what he's done in the first year of 6 years of a career. Also, it's the experience of Andy Reid. It's the experience of that Chiefs team. That's why the line hasn't come down. But, Ryan, you asked a question before we went to the last break. You said, who needs to win this game more? Is it Lamar or is it Patrick Mahomes? It's going to sound crazy when I say this, but it's Patrick Mahomes. I know what he's done in the past. We're not talking about the past. We're talking about the present and the future. Travis Kelce's getting older. Travis Kelce had a really good game. He found himself. He found something in the locker room, had a really good game. He's not the same tight end he was this season that he was the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that. That offense was very vulnerable all year. I mean, they couldn't find a wide receiver to catch a pass. Who knows if he gets an opportunity to be in this situation again? Who knows? Like, before the season started, halfway during the season, we didn't even know if they were going to make this playoffs. We didn't know if they were going to make the second round of the playoffs. I think you don't know if you're going to get this opportunity again. In the way that defense is playing, you got to use that. With Lamar's paid. You got young wide receivers. You have a young tight end now, unlikely. You have.
Is he good?
100%.
How unlikely is that?
Look at that dynamite drop in. You got Mark Andrews is back.
Coming back.
You got 2 running backs that are already on salary for next year. And you got Dalvin Cook. You don't know what's going to happen. The defense. You got young defensive players. You got Ruben. You got, what's the middle linebacker? I always forget his name. Already under salary.
Roquan Smith.
Thank you. That team's already under salary. That team's already ready, and they're built for the next couple year run. John Harbaugh's got those guys ready. For Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, who knows if you guys are going to be in this space next year. So I think it's Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, I take you back a week ago when they played the Bills, a few days ago. Pete, do we have the stat of the trade between Kansas City and Buffalo back in the day? The Patrick Mahomes trade? Where it says, remember when the Chiefs traded?
There you go.
Look at that. Would you do that trade again, Buffalo? Would you trade and swap your pick for Kansas City to move on up? Yeah, you picked up an extra third-round pick, and you picked up a number 1 the following year. But they got Patrick Mahomes. And the poor Buffalo fans are
let me read it for you for those that are doing audio only. The Chiefs received the 10th overall pick, and the Bills received the 27th overall pick, a third-round pick, 91st overall, and the 2018 first-round pick. So I guess if I was going to see this, I'd have to see who they took with those 3 picks. You know, they just
really?
Yeah.
You still want to see the picks?
Well, I mean...
Or do you want Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, obviously. But again, so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that I think we lose as sports fans.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes may not be Patrick Mahomes without Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Your talent takes you so far. You have to get with a guy like Andy Reid or a guy like Ben Johnson. Jared Goff may not have this resurgence in Detroit if it wasn't for Ben Johnson. You know, you have to have somebody. Who's to say Justin Fields with freaking Matt Eberflus couldn't be something, but they just don't mesh. You know, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is Patrick Mahomes might not be that with Joe Brady as his interim offensive coordinator.
I get it.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Coaches do matter. And
I'm going to guess that he would be, though.
Maybe.
He wasn't that with Cliff Kingsbury when he was in college. I mean,
they were 6 and 6,
had
weren't
some
they?
stats. I mean, I look like this. You're absolutely correct. Coaching does matter. I look at a guy like Josh Cribbs. When I got to Cleveland, Josh Cribbs, quarterback out of Kent State, doesn't get drafted. Cleveland Browns bring him in. Jerry Rossberg was our special teams coach. One of the best that I've ever been around and one of the best truly respected around the league. Jerry Rossberg instilled something into Josh Cribbs. He helped him in all facets of the game. He was literally first year. He was Pro Bowler as a special teams player, and then you see the career that he had. I mean, he finished his career with over 10 touchdown returns as a special teams guy. Jerry Rossberg was a great instrumental in a part of that.
Dan Miller coming up next, but first a message from Premier Pet Supply.
All right, guys, give your pet the best. Do not settle for less. Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, and nutritionists to answer all your questions. They even have curbside delivery if you need it. Give your pet the best. Give them PremierPetSupply.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort Dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk into any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams, an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Hey, hour number 2 of the program here on a Wednesday. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We got Spivak, we got JB in the house, and we have Dan Miller, the voice of the Lions, Fox 2 sports director, and of course you can watch us daily, 2 p.m. on the Fox local app on your smart TV, your Roku, your Fire TV. Dan, how you doing, my friend?
I'm all right. How you guys doing?
Doing great. I'll tell you, it feels like we're talking about this, that the winter has flown by thanks to the Lions. And you look up, the month of January is almost over. This is incredible.
Yeah, we're not used to this. I mean, you know, now we're usually talking about draft picks and watching other people play football. And it's nice to kind of be on the other side and see what it's like when you're playing and you're in these high leverage situations and the stakes are going up every week and you're surviving week to week. And look, credit this team, man. They've done what they had to do. They've come out, played 2 playoff games, won them both of them down the wire, both of them where every possession, every play was critical, and they have delivered. So they didn't just get there and feel good about that. They got there, they're doing some damage, and they're not done yet.
Hey, D-Mills, before I ask you the first question or talk about this game coming up, I want to tell you I was listening to, let's just say, a show that was not ours, and I heard a caller call in and say how much you meant to him. He talked about growing up and not having money to have a TV, so all he had was a radio. And the radio, all he heard was your voice. You did all the games. He said, so he hung on your every word, man. So he said you are like a god to him, and I just thought that was dope, man. You never know with the type of effect that you have when people email you. You're one of the best doing it. I wanted to give you those flowers if I could.
Yeah, that's a lot. I appreciate that, Braylon. That's it's you forget how long you've been doing it, and sometimes I will have people come up to me and they'll tell me they grew up listening to me or something like that, and I'll look at them and I'm like, well, I guess they're like 30, so they did grow up listening to me, and it's an odd feeling, but it's a privilege and it's an honor, and I couldn't be more humbled by the support I get from Lions fans. It's unbelievable, and stories like that always hit home.
And here we are, Dan, in the NFC Championship game. It feels like, even the coaches are at a different podium now. The podium with the NFC Championship game logo.
I saw them putting it together yesterday.
Yeah, and it's incredibly new to sit here and see all of this, because you're just not used to seeing that for the players, I guess, for Dan Campbell, for the coaching staff, I guess for the coaches, that many of them have been through this. But it feels so new to us. Do you think it feels any different to the players?
I think it feels different in that you're still playing and you're playing for something big. But here's the thing, and Braylon went through this. I think for the Lions, and I've had this discussion with Dan Campbell, this is the 20th game week of the season. They've had 17 game weeks in the regular season, now 3 game weeks in the playoffs. And the worst thing you can do is change a bunch of things around because all of a sudden the stakes are bigger. Look, you've been successful because of the way you've handled your business. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they're going to continue to do that. And Dan Campbell's not changing things just because it's gotten bigger. Do I think they understand it? Absolutely. I mean, you feel that. They know the number of media people they've never seen in their life, as Dan Campbell alluded to today, are showing up, and there's more microphones and more requests and all those things. So, yeah, all of that stuff makes you feel like it's different. But if you're smart, and I know Dan Campbell is, your approach and your preparation remains the same because it is what has gotten you here.
Hey, Dan, a lot of times I come on here and I talk about Ben Johnson, I talk about Jared Goff, I stick on the offense. I wonder why that is. But I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to go on defense this side and talk about Aaron Glenn. You talk about the wide receivers that have had big numbers against that secondary. But in that, he still has that bend but don't break defense. And also in the fourth quarters, seems like he's playing tremendous. Talk about the job that Aaron Glenn is doing, because I don't think he's getting enough credit. People are looking at the gaudy numbers, but they're not looking at the overall results.
No, he doesn't get enough credit, and it's an interesting thing, Braylon, because you can be in the middle of a game, you can think, man, they're getting gashed, and then you look up and they haven't given much up in terms of points. So it's a defense where sometimes the appearances don't necessarily lead you to the end result that they've got, and right now they're doing a nice job, and they've made some critical plays, and you look at some of the things that AG dialed up and some of the things that really cost the Bucs possessions in last week's game. I mean, look at the Barnes interception. He's on the line, drops back into coverage, boom, gets the pick. Look at the Aiden sack, took him out of field goal range. The Brian Branch drop for a loss of 4 in the run game, cost them a possession because it put him behind the down stick. So he is dialing things up at a critical time that allows him to be successful. And look, credit to him. And I'm not taking anything away from Ben Johnson, but look, Ben Johnson's working with the best offensive line in football, or one of the best. And weapons all over the place. And again, I'm not taking anything away because people want to, assign that to you. Ben Johnson's not working with the best defensive line in football. He's trying to piece things together. He's working with a secondary that doesn't necessarily, for much of the year, didn't look like they thought it was going to look. So credit to him. He's got him in the NFC Championship game with that defense. And you know what? You're 4 quarters from the Super Bowl now, so there's no reason to stop. But I do believe people are taking note of the fact that he's pieced this thing together and done a nice job. And even if you're giving up, huge games to Justin Jefferson, you're able to win that twice. Huge game to Puka Nacua, you're able to win that game. And then, again, last week, huge game to Evans, and you're still able to win that game. So bend but don't break is a term that we use, but if you want to see what it looks like, this is it.
Hey, Dan, I know you've been watching football a long time. You've seen a lot of great teams like me, but I've never seen a team like this rely on the rookies that they're relying on to get them to this spot. The only thing I can go back to is maybe the triplets for the Dallas Cowboys, but I don't even think they were rookies back then. This is different, man.
No, it is. And those guys obviously endured some tough times in Dallas before they got it all turned around. Look, I mean, these guys came into a team that was ascending. That certainly helps. But that doesn't answer for why these guys at the top of the draft have been able to come in and play such a big role for the Lions. But this is what they envisioned. They knew Gibbs was going to come in and play right away. And that Campbell was going to at least be in a rotation right away. And that Branch, I don't know if they saw this for Branch, because originally, look, you were looking at Sutton, whom they signed, and Mosley, whom they signed, and then C.D. Deuce, who they brought in, and Kirby, who was returning. So I don't know necessarily if they saw him as being the guy that was going to be the nickel and start from day one. The problem is he just played so well from the moment he walked in, you couldn't get him off the field. Same thing with Laporta. So, Laporta obviously in a position that was much more wide open and ready to be taken by him. But I think Branch is a guy that maybe he is a little bit ahead of schedule for where they thought he'd be, but he's just looked so good and so comfortable from day one that you couldn't sit him down. And as it turns out, with Mosley going down and CJ going down, they needed him to get in there and play, and he's been able to deliver and done that and been really, really good.
Branch, on the day he got picked, day 2, I remember watching it with my wife, and I've said this story before, and the kid waited to be brought on the stage to get his due. I told my wife then, this guy is it. And then what did he do in the first game? Pick 6 against the Chiefs. And I can't even remember, Dan, an opening week game in the NFL that could be the Super Bowl for the last game of the year. Open up with the Lions and the Chiefs, and if all things work out, it could be Lions and Chiefs to end the season.
Not going to happen.
That's, to me, it's been a great season, man, but that's
kind
of odd.
Yeah, I haven't done my research on that, but yeah, and you know what? That was such a big win for this team, and I don't care who played or didn't play for the Chiefs. Look, you're coming off an 8-2 finish, and people are wondering, can you keep it going? And they probably didn't wonder that as much in Allen Park as people outside of it did. But to go to Kansas City and get a win, and I know they came back and lost the next week to Seattle, but it had to mean so much for these young guys to go there and put that in their back pocket and lean on that the rest of the way, because they've been really good on the road. And they're going to have to be really good on the road again this week. And to have one like that means a lot, because it shows you what you're capable of. And that's the kind of thing you're going to have to lean on this week, is the success that you've had in the past and that feeling of understanding that even though, the bulk of this stadium, and we don't know how much at this point because we've seen some crazy things, but the bulk of this stadium is going to be rooting against you, that you can find a way to get it done.
Hey, Dan, through this postseason, the Lions have not trailed, and they have 0 turnovers. What are you going to be looking for early in this one that may give you some sort of indication of how you think this one will play out?
Yeah, is 19 out there? That's going to be the first thing I look for, because obviously Debo is just an incredible player who does so much for that team. So that's something I'm looking for early. And then, Ryan, you just said it. When this team doesn't turn the ball over, they're hard to beat. When they do turn the ball over, they have problems. Just look at the record. It's right there in front of you. So I'm looking at that. Play clean, man. Don't give up possessions. Don't give them short fields or let their defense score points. And this team tends to hang in there when they don't do that. And they've done that so far in the playoffs. It's a great recipe for either winning or just hanging around so you have a chance in this league. And I think in a game like this, when you're in an environment like that, you really have to concentrate on that. It's ball security. It's everything in this league. Because when you turn it over and you give them extra possessions or points like that and flip momentum and the crowd turns on its ear, it's difficult to survive. So, man, you know the recipe for this team. Run the ball, play action, find a way not to turn it over. Don't do it. And then defensively, just hang in there, see if you can come up with a couple plays. If you get a takeaway or two, fantastic. But this team has set a pretty good track record for who they are and what it takes to be successful, and those are the things.
Dan, like Matt said, you watch a lot of football, but not only do you watch it, you know it, you break it down, you're an expert analysis of the game. What about the 49ers is the one thing that you might be worried about? I like the Lions matchup, But there are some things. What is the one thing that you're looking at, that you're paying, you're eyeing, you're pegging? This is the thing that bothers me.
Shanahan is so good at figuring out a way to beat a defense. And look, it is right now where the Lions are struggling in pass defense. It is the strength of his to be able to draw this thing up, to use McCaffrey in so many different ways, Debo if he's out there in so many different ways. And then you got Kittle, you got Ayuk. I mean, look, guys, right now, if this season ends and we talk and we say, okay, what do these guys have to do? Man, they got to figure out a better pass rush and a better way to tighten up that secondary, in particular, a cornerback. You can't do that before Sunday. Yeah. So you got to figure out some way to deal with it against this 49er team that's going to throw a lot of looks at you, a lot of different, guys that can catch the football and make big plays. And we've seen at times this year where the Lions will lose coverage and guys are running open. So the biggest thing for me, Braylon, is just attacking that San Francisco offense, which is so good, so multiple, and so able to throw so many different things at you, and finding a way to get off the field without them marching up and down. This can't be like the Chargers game where they didn't, get the Chargers off the field and Justin Herbert's just going, up and down. It's hard to survive like that against that San Francisco defense. Find a way to get some stops, and that's where my eye – look, that's where my eye went against the Rams. That's where my eye went against Tampa, and that's where my eye's going this time. It's their Lions' weakness against the other team's strength, and how can you hold up?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And we hope your eyes will be on Fox 2 on Sunday. Big day for us at Fox 2, 10 a.m. Lions Game Day Live, 11:30 Inside the Pride with Danny Rogers. Then at 5 o'clock, a special edition Home Alliance pregame show. Game at 6:30, and then, of course, afterwards, your Home of Lions football postgame show. Big day on Fox 2 as well.
And who's going to be there?
Oh, you, baby! Yeah!
Besides me, who else? You're going to be there.
Brian Ermanni.
Me, baby. You know what time it is.
Hey, Ermanni, who's got it better than you?
Nobody. I keep falling.
All right, so let me ask you guys a question.
I just keep falling into better jobs.
Hold on. How's going? What's he doing?
He's leaving.
Oh, Harbaugh?
He's leaving.
I think he's leaving.
He's leaving.
Okay. I think he's leaving if he gets a job.
Wait, he's in Atlanta today. He's in Atlanta. I don't know what the hell's going on in the NFL.
I don't either.
How many
I kind of
interviews
figured something was
do you
going
need?
to happen. It might happen last night because it seemed like, you're knee-deep in talks.
Yeah.
If he left the showroom, that's interesting. I don't know anything.
I
think
if
he left
he
the showroom.
I think if he gets a job off like a legit everything he wants, I think all things being equal, everything he wants at Michigan, everything he wants in the NFL, I think he goes.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Hey, God bless him, man.
He did what he said he wanted to do.
I will never. I will never think. Can't thank him enough. That 3-year run, this 3-year run, has been incredible, and God bless him. Whatever he decides to do, we're all for. Dan Miller, thanks so much. We'll see you in Santa Clara, baby.
See you, boys.
Oh yeah, come on now.
Who's better than Dan Miller?
Nobody. Guys, we got to get a break in. Absolutely. We'll be right back. Mike Nolan, Michigan Panthers head coach. He coached with Dan Campbell in Miami and New Orleans.
Didn't draft him.
And he could have drafted Braylon.
He could have drafted Braylon.
Instead, I had to go to
overall.
Cleveland.
But first, a message from Swiss.
Yes. Do you have football on the brain like us? Of course you do. This college football season was amazing, and the NFL season is winding down. But you know what you can't wind down on? That's shopping your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with the pros at Swiss Insurance. They cover us here at WSN, and they should be covering you as well. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com. Or as always, you can give them a call at 248-800-4177. Swiss Insurance.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
So this is.
I think I saw Harbaugh.
I mean,
Is he
Jim
here?
Harbaugh's walking down the street. So
He's in Lady Jane's.
Okay, so Diana Rossini, senior NFL insider for The Athletic, formerly of ESPN. 3 p.m. I'm going to read you the tweet. Jim Harbaugh is still in Los Angeles after a long day of meetings yesterday. He could still be meeting the Falcons at some point this week if he decides to take the trip. Michigan is in wait-and-see mode. But key sentence is the first one. Jim Harbaugh is still in Los Angeles. Okay, hold on now. Excuse me. So,
are you sure he's in L.A.?
Yes. Now, this is Michigan Nation 2. Laugh if you may, but Michigan Nation 2 is a very popular Michigan football Twitter page. Pretty good content there. This is what they write. Jim Harbaugh is back in Ann Arbor, getting work done. The Chargers failed to lock him up yesterday. Still expects to listen to NFL offers. People don't even know where he is. Is he in L.A.? Is he in Atlanta? Is he in
Ann Arbor?
Ann Arbor? Where in the world is Jim Harbaugh?
I read today, and I think it was from, was it the Wolverine? Who put it out that he's going to be, Michigan is offering him to be the highest paid coach?
Well, that's
in college football.
Yeah, this is not a money thing.
I understand that. But this is a new story. Chris Ballas put it out. That Michigan is set to offer Jim Harbaugh the most money in college football.
Highest paid coach in college football. And, oh, by the way, he should be the highest paid coach in college football. But
right now, yes, he should be.
Yeah, that is. TheWolverine.com on Twitter. And
so they're fighting back. It's not over yet. They are fighting back. And to see his father in the Ravens locker room the other day, leading the chance for who's got it better than us, how does he leave his family? I can't. How do you leave that? His parents aren't going to California.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. And this isn't to try to stir up any controversy, which I'm also very good at.
You are good at that.
I appreciate that, man. Look, it's a skill.
What are you stirring?
Should he be paid more than Kirby Smart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Kirby Smart has one. Let's just hear me out. I'm gonna just say one thing. I'm leaving.
What have you done for me lately?
Kirby Smart has 1 loss in 3 years and didn't make the playoff, and 2 national championships. And oh, by the way, he's made to the playoffs 4 times, made to the national championship 3 times.
It's a brand.
Right. No, you're right.
It's a brand. It's a brand, man.
Wait. Let's say Kirby Smart. Okay.
It was just a question.
And it's okay if they want to pay him more than Kirby Smart. That's their prerogative.
True.
At one point, Mel Tucker was one of the highest paid coaches in college football.
Maz, you hit the nail on the head. It's
If
about
you pay what you want to pay.
Ryan, you say this all the time. You're worth what someone wants to pay.
If I could, why do you pay a college coach? Okay, let me see if I can pull this up right now because let
what
me
you
see
bring
if I
to
can,
the institution is that the
well,
Nick,
yeah,
is it the Nick Saban
yeah,
deal?
the Nick Saban thing. Here it is. Okay. This is why you pay a head coach. In 2007, Alabama's enrollment went from 25,000 students from 2007 through 2024 through 2023. Nick Saban's tenure at Alabama. Right. Nick Saban, Alabama in 2007 had a student enrollment of 25,000 students. Right. They now have an enrollment of 40,000 students. That's a 60% jump in student body enrollment compared to 10% nationally. Alabama went from a majority of their students coming from in-state to, in the last 15 years, a majority of their students have come from out of state. Right. The in-state tuition for an Alabama resident to go to Alabama, $11,000. You know what it costs an out-of-state student? $32,000 a year. That is about Nick Saban helped Alabama, the University of Alabama, acquire over $1 billion worth of equity.
Yeah.
And they paid him $130 million over 16 seasons. That's why you pay people.
I agree, but Alabama's not Michigan.
Correct.
Michigan's 42,000 before Jim Harbaugh got there. Michigan was the number one brand, whether it was football or not, before Jim Harbaugh got there.
Harder to get in.
So it's a different conversation from Alabama. If you want to go to that conversation, Georgia's enrollment versus 2017 versus where it is now, much, much higher.
What is it?
17,000 versus 32.
Almost double? In 5 years?
Figure it out.
Yeah, you got to get some. We got to get some documentation there.
All right. Let's just say there's more now than there was.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Screw Kirby Smart.
Exactly.
It's Harbaugh.
I agree.
Screw Kirby Smart.
Hey, look, I agree. I told you I was going to poke the bear.
Screw him. You know how to do it.
Vic Fangio just left the Dolphins. They're DC.
Well, he sucked.
Just left the Dolphins.
They sucked.
They got smacked.
I mean, they got smacked in the mouth. We'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
The number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Yeah.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right. What happens when you run a great business for over 60 years, 55 years, you expand and offer more products to more people. It will be 60 very soon. Les Stanford Buick GMC offers the same great service that customers have come to know. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And again, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want, all GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
Find them.
Hey, guess what?
What?
That Chargers job. You know who else wants that
What
job?
I tell you about that?
You know who else wants that
You
job?
know who else I told you wanted to coach again?
Pete
Carroll.
Yes, I did.
Pete Carroll wants the Chargers job, and from what I understand, Pete Carroll's people are trying to push him to get an interview with the Chargers. Of course, nothing solid yet with Jim Harbaugh, and we'll keep you up to date on that. But there are other people that want that gig. And
Los Angeles is a place that Pete knows all too well.
Yep. You're not kidding.
Why wouldn't you want Pete Carroll, though? Like, honestly.
Well, if you had your choice,
Harbaugh.
Let's say you're the owner.
Right.
Who do you want?
I want
Harbaugh or Carroll?
I want Jim Harbaugh. That's number one. But Harbaugh and maybe Pete Carroll will want his own way as well. You know, you don't know what Pete Carroll's demands are. You know, when you negotiate from a position of strength, you can kind of do whatever you want. When you don't negotiate from a position of strength, and I'm not sure that Pete Carroll is in a position to negotiate from a position of strength right now. You know, you might go down what they want to do for you.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Harbaugh, if he gets a job, it's going to be his job the way he wants it.
Right.
I'm not sure that's the case for Pete Carroll.
We'll see.
But Pete Carroll would be a damn good, in my opinion, coach for them.
There's only one thing that the Seattle Seahawks didn't have, and that was a quarterback. They have everything but a quarterback. Los Angeles Chargers have Justin Herbert. Pete Carroll, man, like, he knows how to create a culture. He knows people love him. The players love him. He knows how to, get guys going. Pete Carroll would be. I wouldn't even think about that pick, having played for Pete Carroll in Seattle. Like that's a hell of a choice. Another option, if you will.
Titans have a new coach, not official yet, but it was looking like Brian Callahan, former OC with the Bengals. Brian Callahan will now be the new Tennessee Titans head coach if all goes well. Dot the I's, cross the T's.
I think of Callahan, and I think of Callahan Auto. Tommy Boy.
What was my guy's name? Was Brian Dennehy.
Yeah, Brian Dennehy. Chris Farley.
David Spade.
You ever see that Tommy Boy
Bo
there?
Derek,
I've never
Lowe.
seen Tommy Boy.
No.
What?
Never seen it.
Come on, man.
Nikes.
Man, come on,
man.
Sorry, man.
Nikes.
Come on, Callahan Auto. You can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's
fat guy in a little coat.
I've seen like pieces of it. I've seen pieces, just never watched the whole movie.
Callahan Auto.
All right.
All right.
That's who they're getting as
Chris
their head
Farley,
coach.
man, rest in peace.
The Raiders are going to name former Chargers general manager Tom Telesco.
Oh, Telesco.
Their new general manager in Vegas. So he takes over. He stays in the division. Goes from the Chargers, goes to the Raiders.
Good for Telesco.
You happy for Telesco?
I'm happy for
He built
Telesco.
a good roster in L.A. with the Chargers. Built a good roster.
Yeah, a bunch of expensive guys that don't play well. You look at J.C. Jackson, that deal was horrible. J.C. Jackson got paid and got shipped out the same year.
Yep.
He's back in New England.
I know.
He's back in New
They
England.
did make some bad bonehead
They paid
moves.
Khalil Mack, got rid of draft picks for him.
How about the Bears? We were talking about they were going to get Cliff Kingsbury as their offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Well, they went in a different direction. They went after the former Seattle OC, Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron will now be the Bears' offensive coordinator. Will he be coaching up Justin Fields, or will he be coaching up Caleb Williams?
Ooh, I still got to go with Caleb Williams. I think from this standpoint, man, like everyone's talked about, this is the can't miss quarterback. This is the trend. This is transformational. He's the new one. He's next up. He's, you can't miss again. And I think when you're the Chicago Bears, that's the biggest issue. You can't miss again. You miss with Mahomes. You miss with Jackson. You miss with insert quarterback that you've missed with as the Chicago Bears that has passed you by over the last year. C.J. Stroud. I mean, the list goes on. you can't keep Justin Fields and there's another generational type talent on the board. It at some point you can't keep Chicago barren.
Exactly.
You can't keep Chicago barren.
How about Matt Patricia?
Who?
Matt Patricia
That's
is
your boy,
supposedly
right?
looking for a new job. He's not going to be brought back, I understand, as a defensive, not coordinator, but the defensive assistant that he was when he originally came in. Then he became the defensive coordinator. So word on the street is Matt Patricia's looking for a new gig. Who wants to hire this guy?
I can't imagine anybody, but this is, if you look at Philadelphia, this will be the second straight year they will have to replace 2 coordinators.
Yep. They didn't get it right last night.
Both coordinators out last year, both coordinators out this year, and it just kind of highlights for you the importance of those 2 positions and what that can do to a team. We expect the Detroit Lions to lose Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. We'll see what happens.
Someone said Hank might go too.
Hank Fraley.
If Ben Johnson goes, Hank Fraley might be attached at the hip to Ben Johnson.
That means he's probably
that would be a big loss.
Yeah, that means he's getting an offensive coordinator job, or he's going to get an offensive coordinator assistant job,
Correct.
as well as what they do. What they do with Aaron, our guy that was here, Anthony Lynn.
Oh, Anthony Lynn.
Remember what they did him? They made him the associate head coach. They might do something like that.
Isn't he an OC for the 49ers?
He is.
Or is he one of the coaches there right now?
Assistant. Like, he's kind of like a consultation type guy, or consultant. Excuse me, wrong word. Wrong word. But that's the job of the GM. That's the job of have a coach in the wings. That's the job of vetting the system, seeing what young talent is out there, and the coaching positions, position coaches, guys that you can bring in that can fill those roles. Just because they leave, the show continues on. How many teams lose coordinators? Right. The Chiefs. If you're a good team, you're losing a coordinator, whether it's college or it's the NFL. You shouldn't fall apart because you lose 2 coordinators. This is 2024 now. You got to be ready.
Matt, give me one more.
I got great news for Jet fans. The Jets are bringing back the Sack Exchange uniforms for good. With the Jets on the helmet, the Kelly green, the gorgeous alternate uniforms that they were using for the past couple of years will supposedly be their main uniforms going forward, and that is awesome.
What's that mean to the Jet Nation there, Braylon?
They love it.
Yeah, they love it. This represents who the Jets were in the 80s, the Sack Exchange. When you talk about it, the Sack Exchange is an identity for the New York Jets, Jet Nation. They're excited. Hell, I was jealous when I was at the game opening night when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, because I was looking at Garrett Wilson in that 17 with the Jets on the side of the helmet. I said, damn, that looks all right.
Made you feel some kind of way.
Hey, Pete, put up that graphic again, Pete.
Hold on, I got to get this.
Look at the front, Bray. Oh, you took it down? The Jet graphic has the number 17 in front.
100%.
The number 17.
It's synonymous right now, you know. 17 has been good to the Jets. 17 has been a good number for the Jets, myself, and obviously Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is a phenomenal
receiver. You think he's changing his number?
He shouldn't, because he's be the best 17 that team has ever seen. And I mean that. We're going to take a quick break. I believe Mike Nolan's in studio. Get him on to talk about this merger that the USFL and the XFL have done, and talk about the Michigan Panthers and what they can do. But Maz, take it first.
All right. That's Big Boy, right, boys? That's Big Boy. Comfort foods from Big Boy in the winter always makes it better. Try the veal parmesan or the Southern Comfort chicken bowl. Start your day off with a great breakfast. The stuffed potato pancakes, the Santa Fe omelet, the lumberjack omelet, and of course, the hot cakes. The apple pie hot cakes are too good to pass up. And how about a shake, guys? For a limited time only, you can get yourself a gingerbread shake at your local Big Boy.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey, Planet Fitness is still your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Remember, at Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships still include fitness training. You get all of this just for $10 a month with no commitment. Remember, no matter where you are, there was always a Planet Fitness nearby with more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Find your local Planet Fitness today, or as always, you can check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Good job, JB. Hey, it's a pleasure to be joined by Mike Nolan, the head coach of the Michigan Panthers. The UFL starts their season March 30th. And, of course, the XFL and the USFL merged this year, Braylon. And, Coach, great to have you in, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
And Braylon will take you for a walk down memory lane quickly.
Yo, Coach, why didn't you draft me in 05?
I don't know.
wanted to be a 49er.
I have all kinds
I grew up a 49ers fan. I love Jerry Rice. No, I'm joking. You did what you're supposed to. You're supposed to take that quarterback. You just stuck me in Cleveland. It is what it is.
So for the folks out there that don't know, Coach Nolan was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. They had the #1 pick the year Braylon came out. And I think you interviewed with the 49ers, right?
So I flew out to San Francisco. I flew out to Minnesota, and I went to Chicago. Those are the 3 trips that I took. But enough about that. Those are our jokes. Speaking of jokes, how funny was Spice Adams?
Was what?
Spice Adams, Anthony Adams.
Oh my God, he's still funny. He's so hilarious. Anthony Adams, he just turned that all on kind of when he left our place or whatever. But
Chicago kind of.
My goodness, is he hilarious?
He's from here, born and raised. We went to high school together. When I came out to interview, he's actually the one that showed me around.
Oh, was he?
100%.
That was a good choice on our part because he got a lot of personality.
He's great.
Really a good person too.
Yeah.
He and his wife both really good people.
Oh, I tell him you said that, Coach.
Yeah, please do.
Hey, Coach, I obviously want to talk to you about the UFL, but I have to ask you about this Detroit Lions run. I mean, we're still kind of wrapping our heads around this success. And I learned earlier that you actually coached with Dan Campbell in New Orleans and Miami. Are you surprised by this success, or this is just who he is?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Dan's got, as I've mentioned throughout the day, I mean, Dan's got really good people skills, and he's got good football knowledge, played the game. He's a guy that the players look up to, can relate to. I think he's never forgotten what it's like to be a player, but as important, he's also knows how important it is in a leadership role you're no longer a player. You know, you're the guy in charge, so you got to act like the guy in charge. And Dan's got all the skills to do that. He's just a great person. He's the same guy all the time. There's really nothing funny about Dan. I really like Dan. I mean, I enjoyed him. I think everybody who knows Dan would say the exact same thing. Everybody who knows him has got to be pulling for him.
Yeah, he's a great guy, very authentic, and you hit on it as a former player. You look at his staff, they're all former players, so that definitely means a lot to them. With Dan Campbell, talk about from year one to now, what have you seen the changes? Because we on the show, we've seen a lot of changes in Dan Campbell, all for the better. He's becoming a really good coach. What are the changes you've seen in his 3-year run so far?
Look at the thing that's, as I look at, from an outsider standpoint, watching them play, obviously they've done a great job of adding players. Now, that's not Dan himself changing, but players that make you better does change your football team. It changes your organization. It changes your city. It changes everything. And therefore, it changes you a little bit because you have to adapt. In other words, the obstacles that might have been in your way aren't in your way anymore. The fact that you have better players, you're playing in bigger games. This is the first. He's playing in the championship game. I mean, my goodness.
Against your former team.
Yeah.
Against your former team. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm pulling for him.
Yeah.
100%. Come on, man. Do it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, family and friends are more important than history.
Okay.
But anyhow, so I think a lot of things around Dan have changed, and therefore he has to adjust to what's going on. They've done an outstanding job, I think, in the personnel area, and the general manager deserves a lot of credit, which Dan did. I know after a game or two ago, I saw he gave him a game ball, which I thought was really classy. Yeah. Just to kind of point him out, I think it's important because that's a huge part of his success, and it'll continue to be. That's why I think there's a really bright future for the organization. For that exact reason, for the guy picking the players, Dan being the head man, that's a great combination.
Mike, we look around the NFL and all these different coaching openings. This feels like the weirdest coaching interview process we have seen in the NFL in a long time. I mean, you've got Belichick interviewing twice in Atlanta. They're bringing in this guy. They're bringing in everybody seems to be interviewing everywhere, but nobody seems to be getting hired anywhere. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, and there's some really big, like you said, Belichick's out there. I mean, my goodness, and that's will likely go down as the greatest coach of all time. I mean, him and Tom Brady together, but. And then the same thing right here in town. I mean, the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, Harbaugh's out there. I mean, my goodness.
We just read in the last segment, there have been 2 tweets, 2 different reports. Jim Harbaugh is in Ann Arbor. 3 minutes later, Jim Harbaugh is in L.A. We have no idea where Jim Harbaugh is right now. We need video evidence of it. We have no idea where he is.
We need some proof.
Do you pull for these defensive guys to get? You're a defensive guy. You're a defensive coordinator, defensive coach at heart. Do you pull for these poor defensive coaches out here? Nobody's getting hired out here. It's this offensive coordinator league now.
Well, it's always been that, but rightfully so. If I'm an owner, I really am. Look. I right now even. I mean, I know I'm a defensive coach, but when I'm watching a game, I want to see points. I want to see points. Yeah.
Right. Take the over.
Bet the over.
Yeah.
Coach, let me ask you about this league because I think Braylon and I are very excited about this league. We used to have Big E in weekly on our show, who is the stadium entertainment host at Michigan Panthers games last year. We've been to a couple of games. Yep. I mentioned earlier, I took my family. The fan experience is great. What will this merger, XFL, USFL, do for this league?
Well, I think the pool of players is going to be greater because there's less teams for currently. Now, I think as it grows, there's going to be more teams as it goes forward. But I think the quality of football will continue to get better every year. Part of that's not only due to what I just said, that they'll start in a smaller, with 8 teams, but more importantly, I believe the NFL at some point will probably get involved because it's a much better breeding ground for better players. Playing football and not being so-called a practice squad player on your roster that has to do things off of a card,
right.
And it doesn't interfere with their season at all. So a practice player could still go to your team during the season, but in the off season they get 10 games of improving their skills and getting ready. There's a lot of players, as has been proven the last 2 years, that just need more time to get better before they go to the NFL, because that's already happened many times. But I think that'll just improve and get better and better because, like I said, we'll have a better pool, not a bigger, but a better pool of players going forward because of, like I said, because of NFL sharing some guys, but as important, the fact that we're starting at 8 teams, not 16.
Mm-hmm.
We were competing against each other last year, XFL and USFL, and. It just kind of dilutes it a little bit. I thought it was still a good football in both leagues, but it's diluted. You got the same amount of players going 8 teams now rather than 16.
Yeah, last year Ryan mentioned we went to a couple games, and I was surprised at just how many people were there and the energy was there. You can tell people were missed the Michigan Panthers. Pete Spivak brings the ring in from 1983. His father, the original commissioner. What do you expect? You have it right there. There you go.
There we go.
It's a beautiful ring, by the way. 1983 was a great year, man. What do you expect this year from your team, second-year coach with the Michigan Panthers and the Detroit fans? Because they're listening. A lot of Michigan Panthers fans out there.
Well, show up again, because I'll tell you what, we had a good. The fan participation was very good for us. It helped us. Matter of fact, in our last game of the season, we had to win it to get into the playoffs, and we beat the Stars. But the fans had everything to do with it. They were excited as we were playing the game and brought us back. But going forward. What they can expect, I think, is from our football team is that you're going to see continually a better. What do I want to say? A quality. You're going to see a quality game. Number one. We've got some rules that we use in our league that we'll see how it comes out how it shakes out when we this merge with the XFL. Which ones are kept and which ones are not. It looks to me like most of them will be kept. We've got some rules that I think are great improvement to the game of football. From a 3-point play after a touchdown rather than only the 1 and the 2. Everybody's in the game for a much longer time. When you could come away with a touchdown and make it a 9-pointer, again, you're still in the game. You're never out of the game. The onside kick, we've kind of done away with it. It was, now we have a 4th and 12 at the 33, which again is something that's I think is a way to actually believe you're going to get the ball back,
right?
Because the onside kick is right now.
It's never happened.
I'm into the kitchen getting
right.
some food. It's like this isn't going to happen. Yeah. But anyhow, so there's rule changes that I think will help not only our league, but in time, I think the NFL will institute some of those rules. So there's things like that. But the quality of football, more than anything else, is going to be good. It's going to be better this year than the last couple years even. And it's just going to get better and better as we go.
Yeah, like Ryan said, you guys are merging with the XFL. Are there any skepticism, anything nervous about merging with another league, or is it all that, hey, this is going to be a really good brand of football, and we're very excited from what we've heard?
That's a great question. I think when it all started, the only reservation was, is our team going to be here or is our team going to be gone?
Oh, that's a good
And now
one.
that we know we're here, there's no worry in that. But there are 8 teams that were, that are no longer. And because of that, we've had a couple dispersal drafts to try and incorporate those players. I've hired 2 coaches. I only lost 2, but the 2 I hired came off of staffs that are no longer. So I tried to keep that intact as much. I tried to look there first rather than go outside, just because I know what it's like to lose your job, and in particular, we're encouraged to try and keep some of the people that their teams were no longer.
I do too.
I heard you say too in a previous interview, you had more fun coaching last year, those guys with that group, than just about any other year. What made it so much fun, and how do you take that and move it forward, because this game is going to continue to grow. We have been the biggest fans of this league because this is a football country, right? Yeah. This country can handle spring football, and now with the UFL, I mean, the innovation, the technology, creating better opportunities for players. I think this league is really in a good spot right now, and when you take that enthusiasm for it, guys like yourself that have enthusiasm for the league, that only carries this product, does it not?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I love it, and I did. I said that last year, and I will still stand by it. It was as much fun as I've ever had coaching. Look, all the players that are out there, they have a dream of getting to the NFL. At least that's my experience with them. And everybody makes the same check. Nobody makes a bigger check than somebody else. So everybody's on an even playing field when they all come out there. They're all trying to get to that same goal of getting to the NFL, but they also want to play on a good team, because better the team, better the experience. You play longer. You get, more people are going to watch the film of a team that won a lot of games. The NFL is not going to scout the film of a team that didn't win many games, typically, not always, but typically. So for that reason, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, the guys are competing all the time. They all live together. It's only 4 months long. It happens fast. We're in camp for about 5 weeks, and then we go into our season of 10 games. Then there's one playoff weekend, and then the championship, and then it's over. So it happens really fast. We'll start on March 30th or 31st, one of the 2 days. And like I said, we'll have 10 games to follow that, and then 2 more weeks, hopefully, after that. Like I said, the players are a real pleasure to coach. They're energetic. They're young guys, and they're all about playing football, because if you're not, then you're in the wrong place.
Well, we can't. We are looking forward to this league, Coach. You got
just one more,
please.
Yeah. Fan favorite, Michigan Panthers, Reggie Corbin, one of the best players in the league. What are we looking for season 2? Because I'm excited to watch him get down.
Look, I love Reggie. I believe Reggie's hanging his cleats up. Reggie's hanging his cleats up. But he's been a great player and a great person, great individual. I'll tell you a quick story about Reggie. We were at the end of. I believe, I can't remember what game it is we won. It might have been the last game of the season. But I told him, I said, look, if you come free, I said, you got to go down. You can't score a touchdown. There's time on the clock, but the game's over. You know, we can just sit on it, game over. I said, but if you break free and score a touchdown, I said, here's what I'll do. I said, I'll buy you dinner. I said, I'll buy you dinner. I said, if you come free and you go down, sure enough, the next play, I think it was against, may have been New Jersey. But anyway, he comes wide open, and he gets about to the 10-yard line. He sure enough goes down, and so there's a big timeout that all happens. So I ran out there, and he comes over, and I said, hey, I owe you a dinner. He goes, Ruth Chris? I said, we'll do it.
There you go.
That's great, Coach.
Coach, well, anytime you are welcome here. We'd love to have you back. That's the first ring. Hopefully you get another one this year for the Michigan Panthers.
Be another first.
Yeah, that's right. We're coming up against it, but we can offer you a hot lather neck shave or a haircut if you'd like. As well.
Yeah, that'll go over well. That'll be good. How about a haircut? Yeah.
Check out the UFL.com, theUFL.com. Look at the Michigan Panthers. We invite everybody out to Ford Field this year. We will take a break, come right back, and wrap it up next. But first, a message from Fairway Packing. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has offered Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Look them up online if you can't make it in person. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Hey, let me tell you about Jack Labrador, R.I.P. to the same old Lions. Big thanks to Sheila, Brad, and Dan for putting them to rest. And guess what else has found the grave? The same old rock, paper, scissors. That's right, Jack Labrador has revolutionized that tired game of the 2 new symbols and franchise-changing three-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg. jacklabrador.gg now and find out why once you go Jack, you never go back.
I can't play that game because I can't throw Jack. I got
your pinky.
The pinky, so I gotta play with this hand.
That's great, guys. Hopefully everybody had a fun show today. Yeah. I really am a big proponent of this league, the USFL. I think they will. Excuse me, the UFL with the merger now. I mean, you've got some pretty big dogs in this league. The Rock brings his XFL, Fox and NBC bring the USFL together, this thing will work. And I do agree with Coach. I do think that one day the NFL will get involved. One day soon the NFL will get involved. Hey, you've got 10 guys on each roster that can actually play football in the spring and stay ready. Pretty good league, man.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The Rock. Like The Rock. Anything Dwayne Johnson is a part of right now tends to be gold. And then I think you have the nostalgia of the USFL, and then you got the XFL and all they do with The Rock, Fox, CBS. It's got to work.
No doubt about it. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Bray, have the honors, my friend.
Hell of a show Wednesday. We're past hump day. We got 2 shows left to the Lions play in the NFC Championship against the San Francisco 49ers. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Look, we got to give you guys some love. You guys have been with us since the beginning, and look what happened. We are now in the NFC Championship having fun. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for everything you guys do. Peace, Spyback. Great show. Appreciate the ring. JB, always good to see you. Maz, my brother, I love you.
Love you, guys. Love you.
Ryan Ermanni, love you as well. We are Ermanni, Edwards, and the big guy, Maz. We'll see you tomorrow.